Hi, welcome to iClimb. I'm Jessie Hillock, speech-language pathologist with an area of expertise in working with individuals who are demonstrating cognitive challenges, such as individuals living with neurodegenerative diseases. And today I'm going to talk about different things that help enhance someone's memory. So 50 to 80% of individuals living with Parkinson's can experience cognitive changes, and oftentimes those cognitive changes can affect memory. When we think of memory, we just think of that short-term memory loss, but there's so much more that's involved in memory than just trying to find a word or trying to find the name of someone. Memory also affects our frontal lobe executive function skills, so that problem solving, safety, sequencing, following directions, topic maintenance, cause and effect, mood and behavior changes. And we're not going to be able to improve somebody's memory who's demonstrating these challenges. But there are different things that we can do to enhance memory, to help decrease the overwhelm that someone's experiencing when they're experiencing memory loss challenges. So what we want to do is try to not overcomplicate things, but simplify. So I often hear from families, one of my number one things I hear is my loved one's having difficulty with managing a calendar, or my loved one's having difficulty with just managing their day. So I often ask, okay, well, what is your current system that you're using right now? And I'll often hear, well, it's the big month-to-month calendar, and I have all the appointments on it. And as we age, we tend to have a lot more appointments. So there's a lot of doctor's appointments on there. There might be dinner reservations or just other fun things. But what happens when we're having these executive function changes is that calendar is just all sort of looking like one big blur of a message. And it's really hard to figure out what's going on from day to day. So what I recommend doing to help decrease the overwhelm of what's going on in the brain is I recommend creating a memory station. And in that memory station, instead of having a month calendar, I recommend instead just finding a dry erase board. To start, you can do a dry erase board that is for a Sunday to a Saturday. And instead of having everything on the month, just have the appointments for that week. It can be so much better to just decrease that clutter in our brain and that overwhelm when we're looking at such a huge calendar. The other thing I recommend having at the memory station is what is called a dementia clock. A dementia clock can be found online, and they typically have in large the date, the time of day, so distinguishing between AM, noon, and PM, and it has the year. I recommend putting that dementia clock right next to the memory station because that can really help with orientation, because I often hear from families, my loved ones having difficulty with managing time. So orientation is also one of the challenges that can happen when we're having executive function challenges and changes. The other thing I recommend to have at the memory station is a place to house those commonly misplaced objects. So you could have something like a bowl. I recommend having one that's a brighter color, like a red or not just a clear glass or a white, because we don't want it to just blend in with the counter space. And in that memory station bowl is where you can put your glasses, your keys, Post-it notes and paper, and other things that are commonly misplaced. Another thing that you can have at the memory station is your cell phone charger. Maybe if you wear hearing aids, then you have your hearing aid charger right there. And I often recommend people also keeping their medications right in this area as well. So you create this go-to station in your home that that's where you go to do all of the things that you have to remember. So it's decreasing that overwhelm. Now, I don't recommend setting this memory station up and just expecting your loved one to be able to pick it up right away. This is something new, it's new learning. And new learning is often also something that's challenging for individuals living with cognitive changes. A really good example I can give of new learning is I will hear often that families will go out and they will actually buy a Keurig coffee pot instead of their loved one continuing to sequence through the steps of a regular coffee pot, because they think, well, the Keurig eliminates the steps, and so it's not as much that their loved one has to do. Well, in reality, that's a whole new item that your loved one has to learn, and new learning is not easy. So I don't, expect for the Keurig to be successful right away, just like I don't expect for a memory station to be successful right away. It could take for up to 3 weeks for somebody to start getting used to that pattern and that routine of utilizing that memory station.